The second prayer point pertains to Zambia. I've spoken about Zambia in the past. There are many messages that I've shared about Zambia, even the departure of their founding father. I spoke a number of times about that. And there is another message which I shared in the past, which is entitled The Founding Father and the HH. You can check that. I shared that message in 2017, sometime in 2017. And then there is a vision, a dream actually, which I shared about 5 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, which was just describing what I saw in the dream. First I saw, I'm paraphrasing, I saw in the dream someone like a medical doctor examining the incumbent president. And then the second phase, or the second part of that dream, I saw the incumbent in a ring. He was just prancing around, dancing around, like he's ready to be engaged in a tournament, but I didn't see anyone until he was made to sit down on a good chair. You see, like the chairs which they normally fix for presidents and other leaders in different nations. And then the dream, as I narrated, it ended with him just sitting and waiting for his opponents to arrive. That's how the dream ended. And if you remember very well, I didn't interpret that message. So upon the instruction of the Almighty God, I will leave it uninterpreted. What I know is that a lot of people are analyzing that dream. I've seen a lot of in-depth analysis of the dream. Let me say something about dreams and visions. You don't analyze a dream or a vision. You pray and God gives you the interpretation. You pray and God gives you the interpretation. You don't analyze a dream like you're analyzing a passage of a novel. And I'm saying that deliberately with an awareness as an academic that as human beings, especially in this generation, we are prone to analyzing everything that we see. If someone is sharing with you a dream, the best way of understanding the dream is to pray about it. If God doesn't say anything about the dream, wait for the person who shared the dream to give the interpretation. If they never give the interpretation would come through the fulfillment of the dream. When the dream is fulfilled, then that's when you understand that, this dream which was said on such and such a day, it meant this. I saw many people who analyzed the dream, who are reaching many different conclusions, which is normal because people have got different minds. It's normal for people to analyze the same thing and come up with many different explanations. It's not something which is shocking to some of us. As a lecturer, I set a question, an open-ended question, and I get all sorts of answers. There was a time when I was teaching 800 students. You set a particular question whose answer you think is straightforward, only to get more than 500 different answers from students. So it doesn't amaze me if people approach the dream carnally and they come up with as many explanations as they want. As many explanations as they want. So what are we saying? What we are simply saying today, alluding to those messages, is that the people in Zambia, they should pray for peace in their country. They should pray against strife. Their country is on a knife edge. It is on a knife edge. They must pray for peace in their country. They should pray for peace. And they should pray for God to give them patience, so that whatever is unfolding, it will just unfold peacefully without people losing their lives. They should pray for what? For peace. Yes. They should pray for peace, and they should pray for the Spirit of God to prevail. So that whoever is victorious in that country will be afforded the opportunity of being victorious, and whoever is not victorious will also be afforded the opportunity of not. There is something which I saw in a vision, which I don't want to speak in details, because I've been praying about this. I've got a lot of pastor friends who are Zambians, and even some Zimbabweans who stay in Zambia. I even have distant relatives in Zambia who actually went and settled in Zambia many years ago, who are actually Zambians. So it's a country with which I've got a lot of connection. I've got pastor friends in Lusaka and pastor friends in Livingstone. And I've got Christians that I know in places like Ndola, Mindolo, and so on, and other parts of Zambia. Intercessors that I know. So my word of exhortation to them is they must pray for peace. For peace. That whatever has been determined does not lead to violence and disputation, which may end up leading to loss of life. They must pray for peace and calm in that country. And they must pray for God to grant humility, humility and a big heart to those who need humility and a big heart, so that that country can go forward. So that that country can go forward. So that that country can go forward. As I said previously, the challenge with this current setup of the world, which has got the influence of the devil himself, is that things are done through competition, and competition is mutually exclusive. And for that reason, the people who lose, they feel aggrieved when they experience a loss. So that's the challenge with our world. We've got very few important games where everyone wins. If such games exist, I know they are there. They may be there, but very few people care about such games. When people are deciding on things like power, they play mutually exclusive games, which is why there is a lot of thuggery around the elections and so on. A lot of cheating and a lot of name calling and a lot of emotion, which is associated with the elections. So Zambians must not take the situation of their country for granted. They must not think that, especially Zambian Christians and intercessors, they must not think that change, the sort of changes which they are longing for in their country, they will occur without them supplicating before God. They must supplicate before God for peace, not to be disturbed. So I think I've said enough for Zambia.